Alright, welcome back to ReZero, Anime Review, episode number 81. Yep, alright, so we're here discussing the opening episode of season 4 of the show. Yes, known as The Reason You Bring You Out / Gorgeous Tiger Reloaded. Yeah, the Gorgeous Tiger Reloaded thing is from a middle section of the interlude from this book right here, book 21. Yeah, it's a middle section. Mostly put, it's just Garfield just talking to his mom. Of course, he just chats with her, and of course, he's very somber with her, even crying with her, and then basically his. Well, they don't know it. These two are actually his. They don't know the fact that these two are his younger siblings. He suspects it, and then he finds their real names are Raphael and Fred. And it's similar to his Garfield and Federica. And of course, also, yes, it's similar to him. So there's hints of the fact that his mom might have memories back, but there's tiny bits of memories back, but not entirely. And him calling her mom, and it's a very nice scene. It doesn't take up a lot. It takes up like about 12 pages. There's just one brief scene. It's and one thing that's from later on in the episode. I love how this thing starts off, where basically, by the way, the thing there's not only doubts that's from a portion of the interlude, but this episode is from the second half of chapter 7 from book 20, and pretty much the first half, around the first half of chapter 1 of this book. Kind of. And they kind of rearrange some conversations, move to certain points. It doesn't really affect the story at all, as long as you keep the meat there. Though, of course, that Crunchyroll got called online for a mistranslation. Yes. One line got mistranslated. I'm like, okay, I get the fact that somebody made a goof with Crunchyroll. Okay. Does it hurt the episode? Not really. Because when I can tell, reading the source material, it worked fine. Because we see the various stuff we saw from last season. We see the destroyed church. We see the tower that opened up season 3. By the way, actually, I rewatched I rewatched season 3 before the season came out. I basically watched it dubbed because I really wanted to hopefully get a chance to watch the season dubbed, because this actually is the first season of the show where this actually is the third season overall I've watched while coming out, of course. But it's the first one I actually start watching dubbed while it airs. So I did technically watch the entire first season dubbed. Seasons 2 and 3, when they aired, I watched them all subbed. But I did eventually go back and watch them all dubbed. Because I knew dub was coming. But I did not suspect, basically, that the dub will come out today. I did not suspect that at all. Though people think, oh, they might delay it. Well, that might happen. It's standard Crunchyroll. They would do that. But as long as the dub comes out perfectly, I'm fine with it. So after revisiting all the really cool visuals we saw from Destruction from the last season of the show, the usual little hole that was sealed up, underneath that hole is basically Archbishop Greed's body. He's buried alive there. I love the fact that basically just revisits all this stuff. And we got the Subaru, where he is obviously complaining the fact that when he captures him, everybody's pretty much forgotten him. And yeah, and by the way, it picks up not long after we last saw Subaru in the last season of the show. And by the way, the whole episode, Subaru is his look has not changed at all. His hands are the same, where it's got like the dragon's blood in him, where his like hands like I think it's his left hand, I believe it is, where it's like a dark brownish color. His leg is still wrapped in bandages. His tracksuit is still dirty, and also that the leg on the tracksuit is still torn. So you at least gotta appreciate the fact that that White Fox did a great job with the continuity of this episode. Yes, the continuity was really good. The conversation's basically rearranged, but I love the fact they did it. And of course, they're meeting in like a ruined building. It's not. Believe it, I would have thought though they would have had this building. They would have this meeting in the government building, which they recaptured. But no, it's some other building that they're meeting in. And of course, now the scene itself proceeds pretty much how it was presented in the book, where Smartsburg's in the city. Well, yeah, the city thing basically is a mistranslation. It's minor at best. Yeah, it's a mistranslation. So what? It doesn't hurt the episode. And people think, oh, Crunchyroll mistranslated a word. And I'm like, who cares? Does it affect my watch experience? No. It's a single word. Yeah, mistranslation. Okay, move on. Also, I did realign the Kelly Mills, the one who voices Amelia. She's the ADR director for the series. She writes all the scripts. So, please, and that's her line. So, please, for the love of God, do not berate her for a mistranslation. That's probably not her fault. She was probably given a bad translation of a word. So please, do not send her death threats over a mistranslation word. Please, just leave her alone. All right. So now they mentioned so in this scene we have Ferris, Julius, Anastasia, Amelia's there, Felt, Ricardo, and Renard. They're all there. Renard, of course, basically does know the fact that we be good friends. Her and of course Felix was mentioned with Krush. Yeah, she's still basically in the coma. So this actually is the first episode of the entire series of ReZero. Well, we have the two characters, Erica Heckler voices, who appears in the same episode. I'll get to the other one because, according to her, and this is definitely true, she's not voiced her in years, but I'll get to her. So, and of course, basically, they talk about this particular Sage. Then, of course, we also see Garfa and Otto. Otto, of course, bandaged legs from the previous season of the show. Now, this is kind of weird for him, where he's almost kind of left behind in the city. Kind of. So is Garfield, but they do, in fact, come later. They're seen later on at the Roswell Mansion, of course. Now, there's a scene that they had. I think they of course, they kept this in, which I'm glad they kept this in here. So, basically, Anastasia mentioned all the thing with Ricardo's arm, and Subaru's like, who are you? You're not Anastasia. He's like, oh. It's basically about the line about Ricardo's arm that basically got tipped off. So, the body is Anastasia, but this is Echidna. And there's an image of Echidna, the way she looked from season 2 of the show. Very creepy. So, this is a artificial spirit like Baeko. Of course, Baeko is a little cute in this thing. And the fact that he does rub her face, and then, of course, Amelia offers her to just share her bed. But just basically as almost like a sibling couple, which is fine. Julius is inside the car too. Before this, now in the book itself, they do have it where Julius is explaining the whole heroes in the Kingdom of Lagunia. In the anime, it's explained by Subaru. You're thinking, why the heck would they give the lines to Subaru for? I have no idea why they made that change. It's a minor change. I'm guessing he probably got the info from Julius, and he's probably just retelling it to Anastasia. So, this, and here's kind of the thing. It's explained that the fox pelt that she wears is the actual Echidna, this artificial spirit. And so, Anastasia doesn't know the fact that Echidna is possessing her. But aside from the fact she's an artificial spirit and her name is Echidna, she has no memories of why she was created, or she is possessed because she just wants to. And apparently she's been possessing her for the past 10 years. Okay, interesting. Pretty much basically, and of course, this is where he starts the whole Fox Echidna thing. Now, In the book, basically, he does call that when no one's looking. In the anime, calls that once, which I'm sure they'll probably call it later. So, and then we go to the Mathers Mansion, which of course we have to go here because, and there's a line of dialogue here by, I think it was Subaru, where basically he's talking to Julius. Now, in the actual book itself, they said this in the actual Water City. They moved to the scene here, and that was, now the scene itself, this whole scene is from book 21 because we're out of book 20 at this point. We're into book 21 with the whole going back to the mansion itself. Now, they pretty much cut out all the introductions for time, like saying hi to everybody, and of course, basically in the scene, we have Roswell sitting in his chair. Now they're in they come to this mansion to get Rem, and the girl in the mansion's prison, which we'll get to her. So basically, we have Roswell, Amelia, Subaru, Julius, Anastasia, Federica, Garfield. I think Otto's here. And I think that's it. And pretty much basically they want them to bring Rem, and of course to bring the girl in the dungeon. Now there is a really, really nice scene of Ram where she is, well, where she basically does mention Subaru that she did bathe Rem and change her clothes because basically she's her sister and she can't, well, she's in a coma, she can't take care of herself, and because of the fact she's basically sharing the same blood, she has no choice in the matter. So, and of course, then we have Super Snacks to bed, and then we have him visit Millie. First time anybody's seen her since the end of season 2 of the show, which that was roughly 6 years ago. I did actually talk to Erica Hetchler about this particular character being back because I saw motion images. She, according to her, she was quite surprised this character is coming back. She had no idea. That's according to Erica herself. I know because I talked to her briefly about this because I kind of said because I knew the character was coming back because I saw the promotional images, and because of the fact she's going to play this character once again. It was a very, very brief conversation, so it was nice the fact that now I'm sure probably that she was definitely surprised, but I'm glad I talked to her about it. And it's a brief scene, of course, mentioned about this particular. They do mention Renard had actually. They're basically going to this tower, this Pleiades tower, where Renard had tried to go there, but he wasn't going to make it. And also the fact the place is surrounded by Mob Beast. And Millie is coming along because she's a Mob Beast master. And she agrees to go, no problem. Apparently she apparently, even though she's in the prison, she doesn't really mansion for some reason, but now she is. It's kind of interesting. Also, her she's wearing like this weird prison outfit where it looks like her body is covered in bandages, including her, like basically her, almost like a dress, like bandages, including her feet. I'm like, what kind of prison outfit is this? This is really weird. But good episode overall. And basically, this is roughly about the halfway point of Chapter 1. They didn't adapt the prologue. My guess is they might adapt that for a future episode because the whole thing focuses on Julius himself. But all in all, great episode. It was nice to see Rem again. First time we've seen her since the start of Season 3. So at this point, it's probably been about 2 years since basically we saw Rem in the anime. Millie, it's been 6 years. But overall, like I said, really good episode. Okay, so that's pretty much the particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, to notifications. I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully for more Sentai, Jujutsu Kaisen, Dr. Stone. Okay, thanks you. Bye.